Guys, today we're working on a 2006 Honda Odyssey. We're going to replace the front and back motor mount. It's all the way down there. That's the motor mount. For that, I would like to remove the battery and the battery tray. I'm gonna drain some coolant so I can remove the radiator hoses, the coolant hoses as well. So I'm gonna start by removing the battery. After battery removal, now we're gonna start removing the tray. This right here, 10mm bolts over here, another one over here. Then I got 212 over here on the top, and one, I believe 112 under. We're going to try to get that one from this side over here. I just like to do it this way because I get more space. I don't like to have trouble removing my front engine mount. So it's optional. Some people will be able to get it through here without removing the tray, but I don't like to be fighting for it. So for the bottom ones, you're gonna put your hand through here, and you're gonna be able to reach the one over there on the bottom. It's over here. You can see my hand, my finger. It's over there. This tray has 2 bolts, one on this side, but apparently somebody worked on it before and only installed one of the tray bolts. That's the bolt over there that I'm talking about, 12mm bolt. So we'll get to it. In some situations, the removal of this battery tray is optional. Like I mentioned before, I like to remove it. There should be 2 bolts on the bottom, one here. This one you just loosen it up and leave it in place. When you go back with it, you just slide it back on the bolt that's over there. But as you can see now, we got plenty of room for our motor mount removal on this side. So we're just gonna remove those hoses. I have already drained some coolant, enough for us not to have a big spill. So after we have removed our hose clamps, now we're gonna remove them. You can also break them loose with pliers. You can grab them and kind of moving around in there, or a pick from the edge. Just try not to puncture your hoses. Just put them over here out of the way. Next step is to remove these wiring connections. This one right here in the back, you just press them and pull it out of the bracket over here, and then you just press this right here on the tap, and you break them loose. This is your oxygen sensor. Now we're gonna remove this other bracket, same thing here on the back. Okay, now we have removed. Now we're gonna remove it from the connector like that. We're gonna move this wiring back over here carefully, not to break anything. Now we're gonna remove this damper weight. Then we're gonna start removing this bracket on top of the mount. For our next step, we're gonna support our engine from the bottom with a jack. Just lightly support it, and then next, what we need to do, we're gonna remove this bolt over here and our connector over here on the bottom for our engine support. Then we're gonna start removing these 4 bolts, 1, 2, and 2 on the other side. Okay, under the vehicle, there's really just one bolt that is really hard to remove on this side. This one right here. This one you can get it from this side with the over here with a wrench or a ratchet, but this one, it's hard. There's 2 options. Either you're gonna work from this side over here, from this side over here like I am doing it, and you're gonna loosen that way, or you can come with the long extension all the way from the top. See if I can focus back over there. You see the light over there on the top? That's where you can you have to have a long extension in order to get down here on a swivel to remove from the top. Easier here. So you have two options. I use a long wrench to loosen it up, break it loose, and I can use a small one to get it all the way out faster. I have all 4 bolts removed. I'm just gonna try. I'll probably have to lose the other motor mount in order for me to lift the engine a little bit farther up. Because if I don't do it, if I just try it a little bit and I can feel like it is hard to lift enough clearance here, I'll probably have to lose the other engine mount so I don't damage them. We're just replacing this engine mount because they make lots of noise. If you're purchasing your engine mounts, don't purchase them from 1A Auto. 1A Auto, these mounts make a rattling noise after you install them, and it's really annoying having that noise on your vehicle after installation. The other thing that you can do, if you already have them, disconnect them, because I don't know, but they're hydraulic inside, probably just get hot, and after it gets hot starts boiling, and that's when it starts making a noise. I believe that's just a theory. I'm not sure about it, but mine make a really loud rattling noise, and you can hear it inside while you're driving the vehicle, and that's very unpleasant. Right, in order to gain more clearance on lifting up the engine, so I can remove the motor mount, and that loosen this bolt over here for this bracket for our engine mount on the side, and taking out those 2 bolts that go on top of it. After removing that, I was able to put a little bit more pressure on the engine and lift it up enough to remove my engine mount. So look at this. Look at this engine mount right here. Really easy because I have enough space. I don't have to be fighting for it. And sometimes if you like to fight for it, you'll spend more time getting it done than actually removing that battery tray. And now it's time to install our new lock in place. Same way, I am going to install my my rear one as well, so I'm not going to tie this one from this bolt over here that goes over here on this side of the bracket. I'm not going to install that one because I'm going to replace the back one, and I want to put pressure on the engine up a little bit so I can remove the other one if needed. Right, we're going to leave our engine mount resting on that bolt over there and on the bottom. It's not going to go nowhere. It has enough space to rest on, and we're also going to leave this one removed, this bracket over here, just 2 bolts, and we're going to start working on the rear one. Right, on this back one, start by removing our safety bracket, and then we're going to remove the bolt here that goes attached to the bracket from the engine. Then there's 4 bolts, one here, another one here, one back over there, and one back over there as well. Okay, I got the 2 nuts removed. What I did is, because they're a little bit hard to remove, what I end up doing is I use an extension from top over there with a swivel socket down here, because it was very hard. The bracket nuts were very tight, and also on the top over there I also put another swivel socket with an extension to get to it. And you can get from here. This one is a little bit harder to remove, but were so tight that I couldn't even, if I got a good grip, I couldn't remove it anyway. So I'll remove this one. Have to remove this side rubber to the side off of it, so you can get it out of there. So you get the idea. I'm gonna use both hands to remove it, okay? Now we're going to work on the other 4 bolts on the bottom over here. Right, I raised the engine a little bit with my floor jack just to get enough space to remove it. Now I got it out. Like I mentioned, these ones are fairly new, not even a year old, but since the beginning I had that rattling noise, so I just can't live with it. I had to replace them. Hopefully the ones they sent me, because they were under warranty, it would be a little bit different. Be careful not to hurt yourself while removing it from here. It could drop on your face or something. So that's how you remove your engine mounts. This one was a little bit harder because the bolts were so tight. I remember I thought they were loose. That's why they were making that rattling noise that I was driving the vehicle. But no, they were just faulty. So that's how you replace your engine mount. I'm gonna put the new one in. Alright, after you have tightened all your 4 bolts on your bracket, motor mount bracket, now we're gonna tighten it, that one as well. Make sure you tighten it good and snug. And now we're gonna put our safety bracket on top of the motor mount. Sometimes you have to move it this way or that way in order to make it fit right what you want it. In this scenario we're replacing both, but if you just replacing one, you still have to loosen your other motor mount, because you won't be able to lift your engine enough to give enough clearance, especially when you put in your new one in. Your new one will be a little bit higher, so I suggest loosen the one over there, the one on the front, and your transmission mount bracket, which is over here. There's 2 nuts on the bottom of your cradle. Take those out, so that way you have enough space and you're not worry about breaking another engine mount or transmission support. That's it for your motor mount bracket on the top. We're going to remove the plug and plug our electrical plug back in. Just going to remove that little piece, but that's how it should look like when you finish replacing your motor mount. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the front one. Right now that we're here on the front one, we're gonna tighten our 4 bolts for our motor mount. This one's right here, 1, 2, and 2 on the other side, and then this one right here, last one. Then we're gonna start putting back our connectors, the electrical plug for the motor mount. So we are almost done on that. project. All right, I have just already installed our bracket, safety bracket. Now it's time to put all of our electrical connectors back in place and put our battery tray. Also, don't forget to install your damper. Now we're gonna install our battery bracket. Alright, that's how it should look like after you finish installing your front and rear motor mount or support mount. Make sure everything is in place. Everything that you took out, put it where it should be. Also the back one, tighten your bolts over here, the one on the back over there, and those two back there. So hopefully you're having fun replacing your motor mounts. It is difficult. I would say around 3 to 4 hours of labor for replacing your motor mounts. Just remember, you have to loosen all your motor mounts in order to lift your engine up enough to replace your new ones.